Losing an addiction is truly easy. If you're watching this video with two other people, then at least one of the three of you have an addiction of some kind. Don't come for me. I didn't say so. It was a well-researched conclusion. And there's more to it. The most common and serious addictions are drugs and alcohol. But we'll be doing so much more in this video. It doesn't matter if your addiction is to drugs, alcohol, gambling, or anything at all. You're just at the right place. And in this video, you'll be getting very practical tips on how to lose that addiction with immediate effects. Have you taken any step to stop an addiction before? Kindly share your experience in the comments section and let us know which step worked and which failed. Also, ensure you stick around till the end of this video and I'll be showing you the greatest formula of addiction. Let's get on it. But before we begin, there's something wrong somewhere. That's because many folks try to fight what they don't know. Imagine a boxer fighting his opponent while he's being blindfolded. Would he throw the punches? Yes, he would. Would he make defenses? Definitely. But there exactly is the problem. His punches are irrelevant because he knows nothing about his opponent's whereabouts. And that's just it for many who fight an addiction they know absolutely nothing about. You wouldn't fight and win a demon you don't know. So addiction is the demon here. If you care to know about the demon, I'm unmasking it right away. This is who the demon, addiction, is. It's that obsessive craving for a substance or behavior with a compulsive pursuit of reward and lack of concern over consequences. So you recklessly crave a substance or behavior that you're so unbothered about its consequences. You definitely can relate with this. But if you can't, just fix your gaze on your screens and let's move. If you still can't relate with what an addiction is, there are behavioral traits noticeable in those suffering from addiction. Pardon my use of the word suffering. It's not as bad as you think, and you shouldn't feel bad about it. You should instead feel great that you're seeking a solution. And like I said, 1 out of every 3 people has this as well. That's over 2.5 billion people all over the world. And out of those billions, you have famous musicians, footballers, scientists, actors, businessmen, psychologists, and even those you call role models. Isn't that huge? So even if you're among that throng, you shouldn't worry much. You'd hardly be noticed in such a situation. And more so, such cases are as common as sand on the seashore. So what are these behaviors noticeable in addicts? Addicts are mostly unable to stay away from the substance or stop the addictive behavior. I'd teach you how to dig it out. You can't lose addictions magically. You have some roles to play yourself. And one of them is an observatory role. That's not too difficult. You just need to put your eyes to work. Observe your activities and daily patterns and figure that thing or behavior you can't stay away from comfortably. That surely is your addiction. If you can't feel good while staying off an activity, there's a problem somewhere. Nothing should be too huge that is treated like your life depends on it. Another common behavior in addicts is their lack of self-control. What can't you take a break from? Well, whatever you can't control is an addiction. And before you know, more signs silently creep into your daily life. And while there has been so much argument and debate as to what can be classified as an addiction and what can't, there are some general substances and behaviors that we can all agree to be harmful and damaging when we take or do them excessively. Then what are they? Gambling. You're probably guilty of this and you're thinking it's impossible to come out of it. Just ensure you stick around till the end of this video and you'll find your answers right there. But trust me, gambling is actually not the best. It's never a sure way to prosperity. You'd hardly find anyone of the world's top 100 billionaires reference gambling as the source of their wealth. Recently, 2 European footballers playing their trades in the English Premier League recently served long-term bans because they were caught gambling. If those you watch play don't gamble, then why should you? Well, food is another addiction. You know, one thing about many addictions is that the activities are actually beneficial if controlled and done legally. But there lies the problem. Addiction is the craving of such activities at an unusually staggering proportion. Right here, it's called binge eating. Despite how nutritional and beneficial foods are, an addiction to food places one's health at huge risks. But it doesn't end there. Journeying this far shows you have some faith in us, and we're proud you didn't quit. Kindly hit the like button as we continue. Sex is another addiction, and as you'd expect, it's both beneficial and harmful. Its harmfulness is so much that boxers are often advised to stay off sex as early as months before their fights. Now, you can imagine how the life of a boxer addicted to sex would look like. he'd have suffered 29 losses in his first 30 bouts, and his only win, that would be against his sexual partner. There's also work addiction and coffee addiction. Oh, hold it right there. An addiction to coffee isn't mostly called an addiction. It's called caffeine dependency. Anyway, the point is very clear. If your intake of caffeine is excessive, then get ready for a solution later in this video. Anger as a coping mechanism could also be an addiction. But how can you be addicted to anger? Well, if anger offers you an escape out of reality, a problem, or depression, then you'd want to surely grab the opportunity. It's not something that really causes pain. In this case, it is done to feel more comfortable and relaxed after the vent. Finally, it's just what you've been waiting for. It's the same activity that brought you to this video. And like I said, addictions are called addictions because the activities are being done excessively. They wouldn't be addictions if moderately done. Technology and social media are on the list, as you'd expect. But while there are many disadvantages of social media, the advantages are numerous as well. And one of them is you watching this video right now. You have one of the advantages of social media right here in this video. But what about the disadvantages? They're numerous as well. They could hinder your productivity, encourage laziness, and cause several other issues. There are more addictions, and I know you can pinpoint the others not listed here. But let's stay with these ones and move on. So how do you get over these addictions? Since this is what you came here for, let's get into it without further ado. The very first thing you do to overcome an addiction isn't to announce it to the world or locking yourself up in a dark room for days. What you do first is to desire the change you want to see. Here, so much is placed on you. Your smoking addiction won't get changed because you were raised in a doctor's house. In fact, there are millions of smoking doctors out there. Your addiction only ends because you found reasons to desire a change. You, the addict, must want to change the addiction. Oh, you remember the old adage that you can force a horse to river but not to drink water? That plays out here too. Your therapist could want a change for you. Your parents could want a change for you, and even your girlfriend too. But if you want no change for yourself, you'd surely surpass your old addiction records and begin to do worse. An easy way to do this is to get enough reasons why such addiction is harmful or dangerous to your well-being. Once you find those reasons, you convince yourself and make them spark up the desire for a change in you. You ever heard the famous quote by Napoleon Hills? Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Once you conceive the change and believe in your ability to change, it's achievable. Yeah, but not so easily. There's still a little more you've got to do. It's great to conceive. It's great to believe, but you need to recreate your environment too. And by this, I don't mean a renovation of your house or the rebuilding of a new home. It's so simple. You're the average of the 5 closest people to you. You desire a change from the addiction of smoking? Then kick out the smokers in your circle and recreate a new one. You definitely wouldn't want to fight the temptation of smoking every day just because your bestie smokes. Your bestie should be whoever is willing to accompany you on your change journey. Anyone dragging you backwards isn't a bestie, but an enemy. And there's one final effort from you, and it's the greatest formula for addiction. What could this formula be? It's the formula that's helped everyone who's ever overcome addiction. Likewise, all that stands between you and your victory over that addiction is this formula. So what is it? It's that the best way to overcome an addiction is to replace it with another addiction, but this time, a profitable one. I understand that this might sound vague, so I hid an example in here for you. Once again, you can congratulate yourself for getting to this stage. You remember the popular former undisputed world heavyweight champion of boxing, Mike Gerald Tyson? Yeah, if you know anything about him, you definitely would know of his addiction to hard drugs like cocaine, marijuana, cannabis, and the likes. He wasn't a normal addict. His addiction was crazy. He was said to have taken drugs a few minutes before a boxing match, which he won by knocking after 38 seconds. But recently, Mike Tyson seemed to have overcome this addiction. Though he may have been forced to do so by an illness, the most important thing is that he did change. There may be several reasons for this, but one major reason that was evident was that he had returned to his trainings and bodily exercise. As a result, he had quenched the hunger for smoking with an appetite for exercise. So you should look around too. What profitable thing can you use to replace your addiction? For gambling, it could be saving excessively. For eating, it could be fasting. For sex and smoking, it could be exercises. But you know what? Just observe keenly and do what works for you. The mystery about habits and addictions is that the urge and the rewards will always come. They won't stop, but you can change your response to the urge and get the same reward. You see? It's super easy. Let me know what you think about these practical steps in the comment section. If you enjoyed watching this video, kindly react by clicking the like button. For quality and easy content like this, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel. We appreciate it. And ensure you turn on notifications to get alerted when we drop content.